Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Ivan JURIC has been appointed as new Roma manager. I've got a lot to say. I've had a lot to say since the moment I woke up today because this entire situation is ridiculous. This entire situation, unfortunately, is the problem of the worst ownership that we have had in the history of this team, and I'm not even joking when I say this. This is the result of an ownership which just does not defend the values of its fans. It does not defend the team, and unfortunately, it's what is bringing us in this direction of becoming a banter club. We are a banter club under all effects. Everybody can have all the rights to laugh about us because, if this was a situation on other teams, you must believe that I would laugh about them. So yeah, look, if you're watching Champions League football, good on you, because it's gonna be a long while since we're back playing that tournament. That's for sure. I genuinely don't know how I am live. Yes, I know it's a bad timing. I know a lot of people are watching the Champions League, and I apologize, but I literally came back from university. I finished very, very late, had a lot to say, and all of this. Right. The one thing that I want to say, however, before getting into the rant, because there is inevitably going to be a rant, because, the Fredkins are playing with my testicles here. The Fredkins are playing with our testicles here. And there's a rant to be said. There is a rant which will commence in a second, because instead of sacking managers to improve, we sack managers to become weaker. That's what we do. The number one thing that I want to say is this, because it's something very important, and I want to put this out there because there are going to be a lot of people which will misinterpret me in this live stream. Everything I say from now until the end of the video has got nothing against Ivan Juric. I will be honest with you. In the past, I haven't liked Juric's behavior towards us, but now he is our manager and I am ready to defend him, to back him, and to fight with him until he is here, until he will be our manager. I will be here. We will be here to defend him. It's not a good pick, and this is what I criticize. The decision of appointing a manager like Juric is what I will be ranting about. It's not the manager itself. It's very wrong to pull judgments before somebody even starts working. So I think it was inevitably going to be like this, because you sack a club legend to appoint De Rossi out of nowhere to catch every single Roma fan out of surprise. It was inevitably going to lead to this reaction towards the new manager, unless, of course, the Fredkins had, decided to appoint Jurgen Klopp, which, as we said this morning, was not going to be possible. There was inevitably going to be a reaction against the manager. But what I'm here to say is that this reaction is not towards the manager itself. What I'm going to say in this video, and what all of Roma fans are writing on the web and protesting in front of Trigoria, nothing here is against Ivan Juric. And I want to make this clear because he deserves all of our respect for even accepting this mess. Just like De Rossi accepted the mess back in January 2024, Ivan Juric, as much as I have despised him in the past, has all my respect for even accepting an offer from owners who sack managers for fun. An absolute mess. So all my respect to Ivan Juric for actually accepting, actually placing himself in the most complicated football team in Italy in terms of managerial experience, in this pressure, in this negative reactions from the fans. God on you. I respect you. Everything which I have to say and will say from now until the end of his adventure will be against the decision of appointing Ivan Juric, coming from owners, or should I call them dictators, Dan and Ryan Fredkin. With that being said, now I might have lost something here. I might be dumb. ultimately people might think I'm stupid. People might think my football knowledge isn't strong enough, and I will accept it. But somebody please have the decency to tell me what the fuck we just did and what we were thinking when they sacked De Rossi to appoint Ivan Juric. Somebody please, somebody out there. In fact, no, I want a justification from the Fredkins themselves. Speak! Fucking speak with your own mouth. Tell us why you have sacked Daniele De Rossi to appoint Ivan Juric, which under all effects is another interim coach. You've given him a contract until June 2025 with a contract extension bonus if we play in the Champions League. We're not going to be playing in the Champions League, which ultimately means that in less than 8 months we will change manager again. You tell me what came across in your mind when you had managers like Thomas Tuchel available in the transfer market. I'm not even going to mention Jurgen Klopp because it was never a possibility. You had Thomas Tuchel on the market. You had Terzic, ex-Borussia Dortmund manager, on the market. You had Allegri, which I would have tolerated more, to be honest with you. You had Sarri, I would have tolerated more. You've had all of these managers to pick from in the transfer window, and you went with Ivan Juric. Somebody please explain to me what I am missing here. Somebody please have the decency to explain to me why on earth these owners are so dumb. Can you please tell me, Dan Fredkin, what will change now that you've sacked De Rossi to appoint Juric? What are we expecting is going to happen? Us winning the league? Us getting top 4? The players stay the same. It's not the manager's fault. I said this morning. The manager's position does not count more than 30% in a football team. It's the players you buy. It's the players who play. It's the 11 players which kick the ball around which make the difference. So what was the necessary move here? Sacking De Rossi? Oh yeah, I'm going to sack him, but I'm appointing Juric. What? Like, it's like going to the bathroom, taking a piss, and instead of taking a piss inside the toilet, you completely miss it and you piss on the floor. Yeah, like, are you dumb? Are you a kid? Like, who makes the decisions at this football club? It genuinely is the same. You go to the bathroom, you need to piss, and you know when you aim in the middle, the urine goes completely out of aim. It's that in practice. What's going to change? What is going to change? Tell me what's going to change. A manager which, with all due respect once again, hasn't won anything in his career. So we have sacked De Rossi because he wasn't experienced enough to appoint a manager who's never won shit. Where is the coherence here? Where is the coherence here? And other than that, we have appointed a manager who always falls out in every single team he's managed. He's always been sacked because he's always fallen out with the team, with the players and with the owners. That is who we've appointed. Again, I don't love him because I only love my dad, my sister, my mom, and the top there. And you guys, I love you guys, yes I do. But you see the situation here. I don't love Juric, I respect him, and this is not against him. Of course he has a job, why would he ever decline a Roma calling him? But it doesn't work. It will not work out. It won't work out. Because what has happened here is that you've sacked a manager, but then you've appointed exactly the same manager as him in terms of experience level, in terms of a manager which unfortunately, like De Rossi and ultimately like Mourinho, because if Mourinho was sucked by the pressure of Roma, so has De Rossi and so will Juric as well, in a sense that he loses a game and everybody will turn again. This is a move which Lazio would do, not fucking Roma. This is the exact same move as Lazio appointing Baroni. Lazio appointing Baroni is the same exact move. However, there's a difference which I will give to Lazio fans right now. When the owners appointed Baroni at Lazio, the entire Lazio fan base living in Rome went on the streets to protest. When are we going to start doing it too? When are we going to start doing what we did in the past? Protesting, kicking these owners out. We need to kick these owners out. We need to kick these owners out. This is a move that Lazio would do. Look, it makes no fucking sense, man. I am completely exhausted. But I've said it. I already want the season to end. I've lost so much interest in this season that I can't even put it into words. And other than that, another thing that you're not considering, and you clearly have not considered when appointing JURIC. Now, look. Number one, of course, De Rossi didn't put this to practice because he wasn't given enough time. And according to a lot of people, look, at the end of the day, he wasn't experienced enough. And I agree, De Rossi wasn't experienced enough. But you know what makes me laugh? What makes me laugh? What makes me laugh here is that Fabrizio Romano said that the Fredkins have decided to appoint Ivan Juric because they want to copy a Gasperini project. Somebody please have the decency to tell the Fredkins that Gasperini has been at Atalanta since 10 years. And we've just sacked the manager after 3 games. How can we even think of wanting to create a project like Gasperini, but then having sacked your manager after 3 games? You need patience in football. You need patience in life, and you're not patient enough, because a patient football club does not sack 2 managers in the space of 8 months. It really doesn't. And the last thing which I was saying is, De Rossi didn't have the time to implement this. I mean, we clearly saw this in some games last season. De Rossi had a philosophy. Whether you think he displayed it on the pitch or not, it's secondary. He had an ideology. He had a philosophy. Offensive football. Modern football. What De Rossi has implanted in the minds of these players over the last 6-7 months is fast football, don't pass the ball backwards, and all of that. Which, again, it's arguable because not in many games we did it, but that is what De Rossi wanted to do. And so the players have now been managed in a certain way to do that and to aim at playing in that way over the last 7 months. You have now appointed a manager which basically goes back to what Mourinho used to do, which is focus on the defence, create a very solid defence, and ultimately the goals will come. Because that is what Ivan Juric is all about. Ivan Juric, unfortunately, is a manager who focuses a lot on the defence, and I must say, in past teams, he's created very solid defences, but offensively, he was never a manager which was like, yes, score 3 goals a game. And it's not necessarily saying that I want that I don't want that. But what I'm trying to say here is that what is the use of... So, hang on, let me break this down. You sacked Mourinho because one of the reasons was tactics. When in the last 3 years, the players playing under Mourinho were ready to play in that way. You then sacked Mourinho to appoint De Rossi, who, in the contrary, was a modern manager, implement fresher tactics. So now the players had to switch from Mourinho to De Rossi, and it already takes a lot of time because the results and the performance, some of the performances were still very bad. And now you've decided to sack De Rossi and appoint somebody back to... You see that everything here is confusing. You see that everything here makes no sense. You see that everything here has no line of connection. It doesn't. It genuinely doesn't. And that is what scares me. What scares me here is one thing. What scares me at this football club right now, which is ultimately why we will not win anything in the next year, 2 years, is that there is not a clear projectual direction. In other words, in slang words, the owners of this football club, Lina Soluku, Florent Ghisolfi, and whoever works interiorly in this football club, haven't got a clue of what's going on. That is, in slang words, in even slanger next-gen millennial words, They don't know what the fuck they're doing. That is what is happening at this football club, and what worries me the most. Because you can decide to sack a manager, not the way they sacked De Rossi, because De Rossi was treated in the most gruesome way possible. In the most gruesome way possible, De Rossi was treated. But, you can sack your manager. But there is no projectile direction at this football club. They don't know what they're doing. They genuinely haven't got a clue of what they're doing. And you can also tell this because the transfer window and some of the decisions in the transfer window clearly were so disorganized. How can you buy Sule to then want to sell Dybala, but then Dybala stays and you don't know how to play the two together? All of the signings that we pulled in this transfer window happened on deadline day. We let Abraham go on a free loan to get Salamakers on a free loan. We signed Kone the 3rd of September, the 2nd of September. There is no organization at this football club. There isn't. There is no direction. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Somebody stop them. They look like they're drunk. They look like they're... In fact, they don't even look like they're drunk. They are drunk. I'm convinced that they are drunk. I am convinced that Lena Saluku, Gizofi, Dan Fredkin, Ryan Fredkin drink liters of vodka every single night. They are drunk. They are fucking drunk. Because they're like the Mad Hatter. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what they're doing. They're confused. Sack De Rossi to appoint JURIC. What's the logic behind that? When it was still very early in the season, and you could have, and the market of managers was still very, very big. You have good managers in the market. But, fuck them all. No, I'm going to appoint JURIC. I'm going to sack De Rossi, but I'm going to appoint JURIC. There is not going to be a change. We will not be playing Champions League football yet again next season. And therefore, what happens again? What happens again is that we won't be playing in the Champions League next season. And on June, manager hunt is back. Dan Fredkin ready to pum. Who can I hire now? It's become a TV show. It's become a reality show. This is becoming more scripted than Too Hot to Handle. This is becoming more scripted than Big Brother. In June, we will sit down looking at us in our eyes saying, oh no, we haven't qualified for the Champions League. What am I supposed to do now? And you're going to change manager again. And you're going to appoint somebody who hopefully will, have the time to create the roots. And then in about 3 months, we sack that manager too. Because ultimately what we love doing is sacking managers. Not succeeding. No, we don't like doing that. We like sacking managers. That's our job. Our job is, when Dan and Ryan Fredkin prepare a blitz back to Rome, when they get their planes and fly back to Rome, you better believe that when they do that, something drastic is going to happen. Because they did it with Mourinho and the following day he got sacked. They did it with De Rossi and the following day he was sacked. Whenever the Fredkins come back to Rome, a catastrophe happens. Please block the aerial ways for Dan Fredkin's plane to land in Rome. Block the airports. Block the airports, because whenever they land in Rome, a catastrophe happens. An absolute catastrophe. With that being said, respect to JURIC. I defend him. I will love him until his contract expires. Let's see what he can do. He can't work his magic. De Rossi didn't work his magic. Mourinho couldn't work his magic. Yes, I think JURIC can work his magic though, yeah. But that's important, because the Fredkins believe that. So, if the Fredkins think that he can work his magic while not being Harry Potter, then, I trust them. Fuck off. Get your fucking private jets and go away. Go away. And us fans, we need to protest more. Because if we're this, if we protest only on social media, I know it's a social media era, but we need, whoever's in Rome, whoever on Sunday at the stadium, protest, banners. I mean, I would be tempted not even to go to the stadium on Sunday. Because they don't respect us. They don't deserve us. We need to make our actions more visible, because unfortunately what they can do on social media is that they can deactivate comment sections. What they can't do is stop a protest on the streets, and that was what we should do, because they are ruining this football club. They are ruining this football club. You know, as much as, you know, I agree that Pellegrini, Cristante, they've put managers under the bus for, you know, for the past 5 years. Yes, I agree. And I agree that Pellegrini right now hasn't got the balls and the capacities of being the captain of this football team. I agree that Pellegrini and every single player need to be criticised because it's the player's fault if a manager gets sacked. Ultimately, however, it's not the player's fault that they decided to sack him. It comes from above, unfortunately. It comes from above. And you know what? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I cannot wait until Sunday comes because these Fredkins, these pigs, these American pigs need to understand what they are doing because they don't conceptualize what they are physically putting into action. With that being said, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna go watch some Champions League football and absorb those Champions League vibes because, oh my god, it's gonna be a while since we're gonna be playing in that tournament, that's for sure. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Ivan Juric, Mister, I'm sorry if this is the reaction that welcomed you. But you know, we're very reactionary and this environment is very reactionary, and which is something that you will come to learn very, very soon. As long as you don't win a game, you're gonna start seeing fans against you. So I'll defend you, I'll back you. I'm sure this community will back and defend you too. It's not your fault, it's Dan and Ryan's fault. And Lena, because Lena's a bitch, let's be honest. She hasn't got a clue. She hasn't got a clue of what's happening. Bring Lena back to where she belongs. Get her out, because the day she came, a disaster. Like the day Lena Suluku stepped into this football club, disaster after disaster. I want my club back. I said this already. I keep getting videos of Salah, Nainggolan, Strootman, De Rossi himself play, Totti play. I get TikToks, and I was there when we won 3-0 against Barcelona and 4-2 against Liverpool and were robbed of a Champions League final. I want that. That is what we want. And we're very far from that. And if the Fredkins don't fuck off, you know, we can die and we'll not see that. So, yeah, hit the like, subscribe. I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow morning I can have a chilled breakfast. Oh no, sorry. Look, it's not. It's written in the stars. Open your phone tomorrow. Somebody will get injured. Good night. See you out.